Ladies, gentlemen, children, and distant relatives, welcome once again to another drought-breaking episode of Iron Man Impossible. Ever since I moved, it's been tough times for my XCOM fans. First, my internet got delayed. Aww. And then I got sick. And then yesterday, I had to deliver presents to every kid in Australia. Ho, ho, ho! But now, my connection is fixed, my throat is almost healthy, and every kid in the country got what they wanted. I didn't get what I wanted. Shut up! The point is, now it's time for XCOM, and nothing can stop me. So it's time to touch down in Japan for Operation Final Flame, to bring back live technology and dead aliens.
Central, this is Big Sky. Strike One is ready to secure the craft.
Now, the Terror mission required a very fast, aggressive push. But now that we're back to standard operations, we can take things a bit slower and a lot safer. As the squad sets off from the drop zone, we brake to the nearest side of the map and then follow it steadily. Now remember that one soldier leads the way and the rest follow in his footsteps, which means if you're not spotted on that first move, you're not going to get spotted on the other 5. We move like this for a few turns until we hit a big open trench. Now in this case, there's so little convenient hard cover in there that having our whole squad get spotted there would be very unfortunate. However, our squad sight snipers and, to a lesser extent, our rocket heavy can sit back and provide long-range cover, while our more mobile assaults and supports can push up and scout the path ahead. Once they've cleared it, our rear element can dash to catch up. As it happens, we cross the field without a hitch, and as we hit the corner of the map, we make a right and follow this trail of destruction. Our snipers can sit back in the trees and cover us all the way to the UFO. Now you might remember we're on a UFO recovery mission and say, oh goody, we found it. Well, no, it's not particularly goody, because we haven't found either of the wandering patrols yet, and as we know there's someone inside the UFO, we don't want to go near it until we find the stragglers. But, speak of the devil...
Eyes on target.
Yes, just who we were looking for. 2 thin men are here to ruin Christmas. Or ruin the mission, it's basically the same thing. Now, thin men are a pain at the best of times, let alone when you're lacking in cover. But we'll get to that, because first, my snipers need to say hello. Hello! Lantern took it a bit literally, but Rano sends a true season's greeting. Ho ho, f*** you! Unfortunately, Lantern missing means our 4 exposed troops still have an enemy to deal with. Ranos halving the problem was good, but even alone, thin men are notoriously lethal, and it's highly unlikely we can shoot them out of that full cover. The game plan here is limiting risk. Toothcake is exposed and only has a half move left, so Otter and Ghostad move up to take the heat off him. They're moving into half cover, sure, but with Hunker down they'll have the benefit of full, the same as Toothcake. But that's still quite possible for them to be hit. The real benefit is if they're unlucky and they do get hit, they can't be crit. And with full health, that means they should survive. Toothcake being so easy to flank here means he can't get that in his position, so he still needs to fall back out of sight. Finally, for our heroic blockers, Tackled throws his upgraded dense smoke to give them a serious defensive edge. Well, the thin man takes one look at all that smoke and says, you know what? You can have this one. Now the only thing worse than a thin man is a thin man you can't see, so we want to catch him before he gets away. But Thin Man invited friends.
Contact.
You said this was a Christmas party, Thin Man! You lied to us! At this point, I'm less worried about these 3 shooting me now, and more worried about them running off and ambushing me in the woods. So it's time for Otter to give her Christmas gift. Look, I got you a rocket! Unfortunately, the party don't stop till we find that last sectoid, and as he's run off into the woods already, it's once again time to fall back and cover your buddies. Ghostad brings out the second smoke, and the rest of the squad watches over Otter and Toothcake. Luckily, tonight's last sectoid is just skittish enough, and doesn't quite attack. And with a big grey jerk firmly in his sights, Lantern takes the... what? Well, that's alright, we hit the weakest alien in the universe with the biggest bullet on Earth, and he's still alive. Must be a Christmas miracle.
They're backing up! Advance!
But speaking of Christmas miracles, Ranos finishes the job. Now with the patrols cleared up, the smart thing to do here would be to breach the UFO from the door like usual. However, I thought there was a third sectoid, so instead I spent the next 20 minutes creeping through the rest of the map. I count my aliens specifically to avoid this kind of problem, but sometimes I mess up the count. The real downside here is if you don't use the UFO's door side, it's easier to screw up your approach.
I've got a visual.
Now here it's time to weigh our options. We've got 3 people who can shoot now, and 3 who'd have to stand in the open. And none of those shots are going to be any better than 50%. Now 50-50 might not sound that bad, but trust me, in this game I would bet on all 6 shots missing. However, Toothcake has a frag grenade. Now here it's going to mean losing some cash by destroying the flight computer, but still in my mind, it's worth the cash to even the odds.
Suck on this!
With his cover knocked out, the outsider is flapping in the wind, and it's a piece of pudding for Ranos to nail him for the victory.
Everything by the numbers.
So ends Operation Final Flame, and fitting with the Christmas spirit, it's time to head home for some gifts and cocoa. And the first present to unwrap is a promotion for Otter. Major Otter now has the will to survive, which means as long as she's in unflanked cover, she'll take 2 less damage on any hit, making her that much tougher. For Atlantan, a promotion to Captain means a choice between Executioner and Opportunist. Now Executioner gives plus 10 aim against anything under half health, which isn't awful, but I feel it's completely overshadowed by Opportunist. Now Opportunist means that the usual minus 20 aim you get on a reaction shot is a complete non-issue for Atlantan, and to sweeten the deal, those reaction shots can now critical, making Overwatch just as powerful as a regular shot. With the amount of Overwatch cover and ambushes you can pull with a squad sight sniper, Opportunist is, in my opinion, a very easy choice. With promotions handled, the squad gives us their gifts. Merry Christmas! And in the finest tradition of Christmas, we hock their presents for cash. But the Xmas party is cut short when only 6 hours later, the aliens strike back. Now my choice of country here depends on a couple of factors. First, I'm pretty comfy with my engineer numbers right now, and I think I can afford to grab something else this time around. More importantly, I need an excuse to put a satellite over Brazil so I can get the South America bonus. So if I ignore them and I save Africa, then I can use the satellite at the end of the month to both lower Brazil's panic and get the bonus. Australia's pretty chill. Yeah, it's alright, mate. So with a couple more laser rifles to cap off Christmas, it's off to Nigeria to test the new toys.
Strike 1. Prepare for landing.
This Boxing Day, the only thing we're wrapping up is dead aliens. Join me next time for Operation Cursed Hammer. Until then, have a good one.
We should get down there and eliminate any hostiles.
Hey, do you love Iron Man Impossible?
Oh my god, yes.
Do you hate waiting for that lazy bastard to make more?
Oh my god, I hate that.
Manage your expectations with the new BXPN Twitter feed.
Social media.
Follow twitter.com/BeagleRushYT to be barraged with a constant stream of unnecessary updates, pandering to the online video vampire who demands more for their money.
And it's free.
This is not a joke. This is not a joke.
Get serious.
Get in the know with BeagleRushYT on Twitter and never wait again. Follow it now before it becomes popular and thus forever terrible. Warning, Twitter updates only temporarily placate your desire for more content and are ultimately a stopgap in a deeper rooted lack of production. All updates are completely insubstantial and are not usable in a court of law.